South Africa was a real muddle. I suppose I had ideals, but I also was politically very naive. I was naive in every way. And to my great surprise, the Musicians' Union in England backed me up on having a clause written into the contract that I would not perform to segregated audiences. What the promoter had found was that you could indeed have mixed audiences if you played live music in a cinema, and it was a loophole. In the end, they sort of drummed us out of the country, but they didn't deport us, because if they deport you, they have to pay your fares, you see. And what happened was that that loophole got closed. So I didn't do an ounce of good. But I didn't really go there to do good. I went there to sing, and I had somewhere this kind of really naive ideal that perhaps being there would make some form of difference. Well, it didn't. For a while, it made it worse. And I don't know whether to cry or laugh, because now I look back on it, was I the reason that that loophole was closed?
How were you told to get out?
Well, the man came to the hotel and put a form in front of me and said, you must fill this up. The minister has withdrawn his concession for you to be in the country without a permit. So I thought, oh, it's funny. He's going to give me a permit. This is all opposite to what I'm expecting. In fact, the permit was that I could stay in South Africa for 24 hours. In other words, if I stayed any longer than 24 hours, it would be a criminal offence. Though, in fact, we stayed longer than that because we couldn't get a plane, and they extended it.
You were reported as saying that South Africa was a police state. Did anything in particular, apart from this, make you say that?
I was probably in a fury at the fact that the government seemed to be able to do anything it wanted because we didn't break any laws. No, I didn't expect to, but if you ask my manager, Mr. Billings, I had a funny feeling that something was going to happen. I didn't know what. It's a corny old thing of women's intuition, I think. I didn't feel right about the whole trip. I felt it was too easy, that the clause which had been put in the contract about playing to all multiracial audiences, this had been accepted too easily, too readily by the people concerned.
Usually, if you don't make too much of a song and dance about it, you're allowed to do this. Did you?
No, I think I might pick you up on that point. In general, you're allowed to do it, but they usually play to some segregated audiences. And I certainly didn't make any song and dance about it, but a statement that I made in answer to a question on the way out, what would I do if they forced me to play to segregated audiences? I said I'd be on the next plane home. This was picked out and blown up very much in the South African press.
It's been useful publicity to you. I don't suppose this was the purpose of it.
Well, certainly wasn't. I don't need this kind of publicity.
Why did you have this special anti-apartheid clause written into your contract? Do you feel strongly politically about this?
No, I don't know the first thing about politics. All I know is that I think that there shouldn't be anybody, if they want to buy a ticket, should be allowed to do so. And this was the agreement I went under. And sorry.
Why was your contract different to previous ones? It was much stronger.
Well, I think that I may be wrong about this, but I think that in the case of most British artists who've been there before, they have played maybe 1 or 2 segregated concerts. And I didn't particularly want to do that.
You were determined not to play any segregated concerts?
Yes, I think that possibly aggravated the people in charge, the fact that I had, or that we had stipulated that there should be a clause to this effect in the contract.
It has been perhaps over-cynically suggested this could have been a giant publicity stunt.
Yes, and the gentleman who cynically suggested it's going to get a large lawsuit slapped on him too.